It's a new year and a new chance for you to make a fresh start with your compliance. We're going to be bringing you a daily tip, strategy, or idea that you can use to improve your program. Here's your host, Tom Fox, the Compliance Evangelist.
We're going to have a quick word from our sponsor, and we'll be right back. What is the best single-author handbook for a best practices compliance program? I would humbly submit to you that it is the Compliance Handbook, 5th edition, by myself, Tom Fox. It's published by LexisNexis, and it's designed to give you information on how to improve your compliance program literally across an entire year. Each entry has 3 key takeaways of things you can do at little or no cost for your compliance program. I'm going to link to it in the show notes, so check out the Compliance Handbook, 5th edition. Day 24, Internal Reporting and Triaging of Claims. The call, the email, the tip comes into your office, and employee reports suspicious activity somewhere across the globe. That activity might well turn into an FCPA issue for your company. As the CCO, it will be up to you to begin the process, which will determine in many instances how the company will respond going forward. The system has become even more important after the 2022 announcement of the Monaco Memo. Further, as the 2022 FCPA resolution made clear, as well as a 2023 Albemarle FCPA resolution disclosing to the DOJ is the vital first step for all discounts under the corporate enforcement policy. This scenario has been driven home in many instances. In 2021, the WPP enforcement action involved a whistleblower reporting internally on allegations of bribery and corruption in the company's India subsidiary. WPP turned over the investigation to an inexperienced accounting firm in India, then allowed the investigation to be controlled by the business unit manager who was engaging in the bribery and corruption. The result, unsurprisingly, was no adverse findings. However, the whistleblower did not stop there and reported 6 more times, that's 7 total, with an increasing amount of documentary support. Eventually, the company took the allegations seriously and commissioned a full-blown internal investigation. The 2020 FCPA Resource Guide 2nd edition has a clear and concise statement about hotlines. It states, an effective compliance program should include a mechanism for an organization's employees and others to report suspected or actual misconduct or violations of the company's policies on a confidential basis and without fear of retribution. The 2023 evaluation of corporate compliance programs reinforces this language with the following under reporting and investigation. How has the company collected, analyzed, and used information from its reporting mechanism? How has the company assessed the seriousness of the allegation? How has the compliance function, or rather has the compliance function had full access to reporting and the investigative function? Jonathan Marks has a 5-step process for your early assessment of information that comes in. Stage 1, this consists of allegations that have a low threat level and do not suggest a breakdown of internal controls. Tips that get grouped into this stage do not have a financial or reputational impact. Stage 2, these allegations are more serious in nature and often indicate some deficiency in the design of internal controls. Examples include business rule violations such as recurring employee theft or patterns of falsifying expense reports. Stage 3, these allegations are serious in nature and generally involve an override of internal controls and thus are at a minimum a serious deficiency, but they only have a minimum financial impact on financial statements or the company's reputation. Stage 4, these are serious allegations that could have an impact on the completeness and accuracy of the audited financial statements, and that could indicate a material weakness in internal controls. They do not, however, appear to involve any member of the senior management team. And finally, Stage 5. These are serious allegations that involve one or more members of senior management and are serious enough to damage the company's reputation. The receipt of allegations in this stage usually places the company into crisis management mode and could result in the restatement of audited financials. Remember, it's more than simply maintaining hotlines, as companies need to make a real effort to listen to employees. You need to have managers who are trained on how to handle employee concerns as they must be incentivized to take on this compliance responsibility, and you must devote communications resources to reinforcing your company's culture and vast values to create an environment and expectation that managers will raise concerns. The reason that a business' own employees are a company's best source of information about what's going on in the company. It is certainly a best practice for a company to listen to its own employees, particularly to help improve its processes and procedures. But more than listening to its employees, a company needs to have processes in place to allow a secure and safe route for employees to escalate their concerns. So what are today's 3 key takeaways? Number 1, the DOJ and SEC have put a special emphasis on internal reporting lines. Number 2, test your hotline on a regular basis to make sure it's working. And number 3, every claim should be triaged before you begin your investigation so that it gets to the right level of investigation. I hope you'll join me tomorrow on day 25 for responding to investigative findings. I know you'll enjoy tomorrow's episode. I hope you will join me for the rest of 31 days to a more effective compliance program where we take a deep dive into your overall compliance program. Thank you for listening to this episode of 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance Program. 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance Program is a part of the Compliance Podcast Network. If you'd like more information on any of the topics of this month's series, 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance Program, check out The Compliance Handbook 5th edition, available from LexisNexis. You can check it out at lexisnexis.com/Fox. I know you will find it useful and enjoy it. Thanks so much for listening.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.